I've never had a boyfriend, and hardly no one talks about how isolating that is growing up. Hi, I'm Sophia, and today I want to acknowledge a topic that is kind of close to me, and I don't think it's talked about enough, and that is being in your 20s and never having a boyfriend before, and how isolating that is and feels while you're growing up, especially in your teens, of course, because you feel different from everybody else. So growing up and never having a boyfriend, but having friends that were always in relationships or would always be hit on while you were outside was definitely something that makes you think you are not worthy. Being in a relationship or having a boyfriend is like treated as something you must have in order to be a certain type of person, in order to be a qualified enough person to be talked to, engaged with. If you never had a boyfriend, you're literally not worthy of even being looked at or just talked about. Let's talk about this, okay? At the same time though, I feel like I'm not the only one in this situation, and if you feel somehow comforted by this video, of course I'm more than happy because it's better to stick together. I talked about the fact that it's isolating growing up like this, and especially in your teens, because I've only ever had friends, female friends I speak about. I have a friend that I've known for 10 years, actually a bit more than 10 years now, and all this time that I've known her, if she wasn't in a relationship, she was always texting someone or literally seeing someone, okay? I have probably never seen her single. Happens. Or just overall right now, I have so many friends that have had experiences with a man, let's calm down, it's boys, and that they are, oh yes, this and that, but the thing is, it's isolating because maybe when you were teens, like you were still experiencing it, and so it was not as taboo, because like in teenagers years you are having your first experiences, and it's okay, like it's more normal to talk about it. You feel more understood because everyone is making those experiences around you, and so like it's not as taboo. Like you talk about it because, oh yes, how did it go, what did you do, like you actually get advice from the people around you, and you're just helping each other out at the same time. But what happens when you reach like after you turn 18 or 20, like well, you start becoming in your 20s, you are more adult. For example, I've never experienced teenage love, and that is something that actually makes me very sad, but I guess that wasn't in the plans for me. But at the same time, like now that I am in my 20s, early 20s, it's so hard to have female friends that are not male-centered. And with that I mean that now I had a group of friends, of only female friends. All of them have had at least one experience with a male individual, whereas I didn't. And like all we talk about is men, sex, because I mean that's what I do. That they are texting someone, that they are in a relationship, that they are fucked good, like all of that, okay? And like it's like they do it on purpose because they know you haven't had those experiences. Like I've only ever had kisses, so it's like they talk about it because they know you haven't had those experiences, and like oh yes, like my man did this, or like oh yeah, the one I'm actually texting to, like he did this and that to me, and it was good, it was but not only like sexual performances, but just overall being in a relationship with someone basically. And every time they see something, they look at you like like that, like they're sorry for you. Like what are you sorry for? I mean, it's so normalized to go with whomever you find first you go with. It's more normalized than actually desiring to find an actual fulfilling partner that you really feel good with, because that's also what happened. like, apart from not being chosen by people, and that was also a gift because I avoided a lot of that heartbreaks, a lot of that. Like, I had other things, other traumas to think about, and a heartbreak was not in the cards for me, and thankfully it wasn't for my teenage years. I already had much going on. But at the same time, like now, I could never imagine myself being with anybody. And not just because I'm in my early 20s, but that was the same thinking I had when I was in my teenage years. Like, I've always wanted to find a real connection, and if not real, but just like someone I could really vibe with mentally and, well, of course, physically. At the same time, I've never really met anybody that I would like really, nobody physically has ever enticed me. That's so strange to say out loud, but really, that was so strange. But no one really said, I've never thought, oh my god, that person is so what, I would love to be with them, about anybody. So I guess that also something I put on myself. Overall, what I want to think about is like, society now is trying to make you think that you are not worthy or good enough to be considered a person just because you haven't had X, Y, Z experiences, or if you haven't been with a man, or you haven't had 3,000 relationships in 20 or more years of age. Like, I think that is so overwhelming for people like us. But in the sense that your not so single friends do not understand that, whether they are male centered or they're just in a relationship or have had relationships in the past, they really do not even try to understand. So it's isolating because you always feel like you don't fit anywhere with no one. That is so strange. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. And I hope that you may feel less lonely than you thought you were, because maybe all of your friends and the people that you know are in relationships or, had experiences. I feel like it's completely normal, and this is not to excuse myself because I've never had such experiences, or validate myself because I don't need to validate myself. Like, literally being with anybody is it's such an important thing to decide. Like, you are giving your everything to this person, and choosing them like this, like finding them one after the other, it's like telling me that you really don't know how to be alone in your own presence, on your own. Like, as soon as someone isn't in your life and you're alone, you can't bear it. And I think that is so bad. I'm actually sorry for all the people that can't be alone for like a few months, a few years, because you really don't know yourself. I'm sorry. Like, the people I talk and think about right now, they really don't know themselves. They are just facades. And I'm actually sorry for them, because I spent all these years trying to understand my person, the things that I like, and it's actually unbelievable. Like, it's the best thing I could have done. Yes, I still feel a bit behind. No, I don't feel behind. I just feel, yes, of course, I don't always fit in, and it's not like the people I am with actually try to make me fit in despite not having their same experiences. But at the same time, like, I'm actually happy that I had all this time, and I still do, because there's not a man inside yet. I know there will be, but not yet. So, I mean, for me, it's still like years where I'm really discovering myself and trying to find what I love most and what I actually want from this life. And I think I'm so sorry for all of my friends that didn't have this time because they all were way too scared to be alone, or not to have someone that agreed with them all the time. Like, I idolized a lot of my friends' relationships, and I was taking them as examples. And guess how these relationships ended? Because yes, they did end, and they ended so badly. Like, I idolized both my friends and her boyfriend, for example. I'm taking like an example is popping in my mind. I idolized them. I was like, they've been together for so long. He courted her so many times. The way, since I was there, the way this relationship ended was heartbreaking. Honestly, it was so bad. I was very sorry for this person. I felt so bad because it was inevitable. Because I was there when like the water slide happened. Water slide? I don't know, the thing that really changes, like in time, it's the point in time where everything actually starts changing, or in this case, going for the worse. It's like 2 months after they were breaking up. Can I say it was not a surprise, because I would have left him the moment he did what he did. But at the same time, that was such a reality check, because I was idolizing someone else's relationship. And this relationship literally had nothing to be romanticized. Honestly, if you feel left out, yeah, me too. But girls, we are, or boys, whomever can really be seen, feel seen in this video, we are not alone. And our people, the one that will try to involve us in everything and never exclude, are out there. If you haven't met them yet, they are out there. They are out there for me too, because hardly anyone is trying to be inclusive with this whole relationship topic. But it doesn't mean that aren't people for us. At the same time, be grateful that you have the time to actually invest thoroughly in yourself. Like, I spent so many years hating myself, okay? And now I'm doing everything that I can to show myself a bit more love than I've had in the past. And I couldn't have done that maybe if I was in a relationship, or maybe I could have done it. Who knows? But at the same time, like at this time, unless you have someone on the horizon that you maybe are already texting with and you think it could go above, like, just texting phase. But if you're like me, that actually have no one on the horizon, like I still don't know anybody that really sparks my interest, and I really like physically also, because I think the eye wants its part. In my case, like, it means I have more time until this person shows up to become what I really want, the person I dream of, building my dream life. I am doing it. I'm doing it because I don't have to have someone by my side to do it. Even though it wouldn't be bad, because I don't disagree with the fact that having someone by your side that has your back, it's great. Yeah, it's just great, but it's okay. I've done it on my own. I will keep on doing it until someone that is worthy enough, and that whose life actually only adds value to mine, and we add value to each other if we are together. Until that time, I say I'm relatively happy. I'm relatively happy to be here on my own, building my dream life, becoming whomever I'm meant to become. I mean, a relationship will come easy, but just not maybe when we expect it. And it's okay. It's okay to understand that not everything that happens to us is for our own bad. Everything that happens to us is just either a lesson or a victory. There is no losing in this game. Life is a game and there's no losing in life, okay? The losing point is death. So until then, the word is at your fingertips. I hope everyone that felt bad about this actually maybe is a little bit comforted. And I mean, I'm also comforted because I've actually wanted to talk about this topic for a long time. Bye.